baby a yegyina sesia no se ye kase enyama so critical ema ye lose election now one of those didija approach to governance that brings decision making power directly to the people, ensuring equitable development across all 276 it's supposed to be 6 constituencies in Ghana. Now Dr. Eken say we share yen budget a year or my way more national and your national budget now you consider just a few regions, the major regions and some major constituencies in your genome so now you factor money your budget and you all the other constituencies of Ghana. So far Ashanti region say ABI far as a region Ashanti region near Fabia constituency be say Bantama and Inshire so because these are the key urban regions. Now yakase bia Bantama ne ho no bia omuhia road enti no aban ne budget are all year no focus on road. But they be obeko eje so no enye road no mo pay at that particular time. So yes, aban ne diskanako wakwa akoye road but the Joseph we be omo problem clinic bi omuhia. What you say? Ebi your school then be ase wo ho no mo fe say wo so nkomu nya sika ne mo kwa no mu decide ya nkomeka say ye pe school dan and say be cry ye pe library and ye pe bibi foforo but abanye face on we making a budget e wo soro ho dada e no no de kwa ase wo so ase ofo ne enye den eni sei omo de anya say de aban pe e no ye mo but Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is saying say baby o man Ghana akwakodu na wo se yetumi eche yensi kasem no ye petema ne kwa ase oni ema ase hofo no mu enkyere de omo pese omo di omo sika ye den eye so that wo kwa ase ho no mu a enye ne akwa me pe ne enye no na kwasi pe ya kwasi pe no ano ya kwa me nso pe no ya ya ama no into constituency based budget no it is going to allow na omo constituency ni mu no the constituency no omo wa ase ho no omo no mu ni omo hawo nti omo nkyere nia omo pese omo di omo sika ye den na abandon so atumi aden allocate fund no accordingly na omo so atumi da aden e dia ye adwuma e wo so omo de ye wo constituency ho no eno no beboa mo bia nso anya kakran
yeah the constituency based budget
no okay but on call the next way the next slide
but you yanko okay so what would they take us
okay so the next one the question is what is a constituency based budget now okay so I say a constituency based budget represents a fundamental shift from centralized planning in Accra to decentralized empowerment across Ghana's 276 constituencies. Ya ye ken nyina say senya me kan ye no your budget ye wo man we mu ye wo Accra ye wo aban mu ni apete de akwase yo so mo ye de budget na akwase yo so mo fa nkoye de aban say anahyehe ya ye kan wo soro ho no mo fa nkoye wase ye ho. But this time around, doctor is saying said there be petty decision making, no, petty sikano. Inti ase ofo na kasa nkyere nyom pese omo di omo sika ye ne ya mo. Now I say each constituency receives a direct allocation of national resources, enabling MPs, local assemblies, and community stakeholders to plan and execute development projects tailored to their unique local priorities. So the all can say with the constituency based budget, no, each constituency wa flip on enyim kakra but anyway can you say with the constituency based budget no constituency bia MP bia
okay so 275 276
yeah 276
yes
DC bia no obia won the problem the unique problem into say sikasem so there was say yetumi allocate sika obetumi dey addressing the unique problem no na enkoye say aban na e kire say chinchina chia we na monkoye ntina no ane ye kwa akoye. This time around, petty no bia to me then I solve your no any problem at on one time. I be making sure say man for na wa ase ho no ebe hu say allocations are ye no nya ho fasudie because na ye problem nie e ba ye no yetumi address it nti ye hu say aban no dwen ye ho. That is one. Now we ba say the challenge unequal development across Ghana. Currently Ghana's development landscape shows stark disparities. Major urban centers like Accra, Kumasi, and Takoradi receives the lion's share of infrastructure investment and public services, while rural and remote constituencies often struggle with basic amenities. Now, we share picture in Fonia at that screen is used to that's rohono the rural area, but Shaka ne si ono no. Shanyama ne guso no aduane o. Aduane nya dodode a ye de ba krom ama yenya bia di no. But hwe kwan a
edeba ye
nam so ayede ba nti wanwu or breso betumi a move aduane we efi be say ekura na se e dia den e dia ba kurom nanso ne kwan po nya den enye omo nso mbenya aduane na di no won wo mo kwan wase ho nom enti okwa ekura na se aduane bo ofo but ka kwan ne nye aduane na bu esei e pro we fuom ka kwan ne nye ka kwan ne so na de be fa so dia den e dia aduane na ba kurom oba kurom nso a ya ka kwan ne nyina nanso e hanso aduane bo den what you say. So what doctor is saying is and no, you see this policy here can doctor or talking do again was that you remember the drip project?
Yeah.
Which road here can see this were one of the reasons why here you suggested the drip project. And the drip project in the Kai, it was a programmer doctor on one in the office and on research in on here you can see any and suggested say was here to me making sure say between your equipment earth moving equipment and you call all the district so that they be all district by district to be a say road you pekwanyo aban obi eso na ofra aban this time around give power to the people, let them at least those roads now a farming community now they are no more to me you on road now omunya those vehicles and so on between so sound their swear biane na den abakuro
yanko ha aka 2 minutes ni yeko we see 8 transformative benefits of for Ghana no
for Ghana yeah
equitable
development every constituency receive for fair share of resources. Yes. So the EPC actually said with the constituency based
bobo it is so that the free so we can still talk about it.
So equitable development and then local empowerment, accountability, faster delivery. So these are the key transformative benefits. The children say obi abenya yechem obi abenya nye ese na efata no. What you say? I feel so ko constituency one na this time around one nyim nyom person mudi omsika ye. Omo na fa workers wo so mo ye adwuma mo omo. Nti omo ankasa show mo hu nkran nyim say ye disika ne banko ade ye nye kire de ye pese ye nti ye nye fa nkrofo metumi say den. Aye adwuma no wo constituency nim. Ye mfa nkrofo mfin akra, mfa nko jenejene enko ye adwuma. Nti even though ye adwuma no, ba manfo na e wo ho no, omo nya adwuma. What you see because you for nipa ni finkran then the bass here now oba hanuma or say this are a part of the or say stimulating local economies. Now constituency based budget channels resources directly into communities, creating opportunities for local contractors, artisans and suppliers to participate in development projects in projects in Accra or among national level contractors. This model distributes economic benefits broadly, generating jobs and income where they are needed most. So the air can say na me kan no we know because of this budget oko constituency ho no na omo ankasa na kire jomo di omo sika ye nti omo ankasa na fa omo nkrofo nti artisans e wo constituency nimu no omo ye adwuma mason fo na ade e wo ho no no omo ankasa benya adwuma ye den aye contractors omo ye locally based no omo benya ma ba ye okwakoye road no kan say mi o say the big push is not for local contractors. In fact, though you see some funny word be, but what he wanted to say is that it's not for local contractors. Yes. Rather, it's for urban, it's for high people. We are now saying, no, for under the constituency-based budgeting, the local people, because of someone they will get opportunity to also work on their own projects. Inti ye chene kakran di oti ase ono so wanye privilege so beba akran sana wetumi aba be ye adwuma no oti ase obenya adwuma ye wati ase nti onyu so nya bi ewo kumase a on press obeba akran sana obepa adwuma odi oti ebia bono onya bi a on press e wo so oba akra okwa kwosresrese mpacho mo mami project kakran na menye because onyim say any constituency there are problems they will identify their own problems and then they can suggest say mudisika ne ba ye betuma den e dia ye we by the time ye betumi ahye we nyina imagine say all the 276 constituencies no sika akọ allocations akọ en kakran ya cheche obi atumi dia ye bibia kakran the needed and basic necessities no omutumi dia address it because ye ba ye kan one constituency 1 million meboa
yes
sa sika ne say koye ba wonim yet ministries wa akra ministry of special initiatives. So what you say? So through them and omudi sika no kwede ekoye project. So we be some ministry of special initiative because so I went to certain consumer warehouses and you dey one console one warehouse now you dey buffer stock aduane near den ekogu ono. But you ask yourself say who could that constituency and that district now? Are you sure say they needed warehouse? Yes, you dey be AC sebe toilet facilities. So what you say? But are you sure say when you go to the consulate now could be someone say see the 1 million mama mo the musika bear there they will tell you say you the basic toilet facilities. No, so that person yes, which is kana kwakoye bibi wo hama no. But then yes how dey nya nipa ni hia to obeka trust one nya hwe. Anya dem.
And said dem be pen no afa me.
That's the point. So with this constituency based budget, you know, the person down there you decide what they want their money to be used for, and they are given to allocated to them, and they use it to do the basic necessities and the needed things that was some your constituency. Until you can crave him pa, omu benya home for so because e be me here, me pay laptop, your phone ye be pay. So what you say? Edia meduma. Now I laptop e be as 6,000 abremi. Inso e be anka ma me 2,000 kran ka me de to phone ye meduma. And who be ma me mfaso because they at this particular time you na me here in seeing phone. But then your laptop na me here because if your laptop with this man you can mean to me here then and you soon find your course na dia. You get it. So I am telling the delegates say you see a digija say you say ye ba ban mu no ye adwuma ma party ni ba ban mu na mom ye chechecha dodode no ebi am na so ye so wase ho hwe there are certain constituencies for 8 solid years even no man to me empo anya one in fact one opportunity ebi ankoso ho mo so
when we say you see there ko doc okay a wo cheche mu nyina any say ki be dru ha.
That's the point
because you started decentralization enye
yeah.
Now there's a proper decentralization of devolution.
Yeah.
What I say, the devolution is here, and government central power no, ye de comma district na mo na can decide here. But where do benya will be can be tiakra. Na bechem for the whole one obi say bechem for here school kunya. Dual desk omu hia 500 and omu hia 2,000 na omu holma na car track ni free akra
na de ko
na bedru bichimu tachiban so saa eye madness for me because enuya na ye de ye dual desk no ye kotwa free bichimu tachiba ho na de bai
ya de bank kan be ye
enti no ye nya constituency hall and district no ye ni timber merchant bia ho no mo ye ni carpenter for ho eti aden ye munkotwa ya first commission for emomo kwa say munkotwa dua we sei na mo famra carpenter for wo krum ho ya ma ya kam nyina bom fa say be 10 20 look me say enije be bad district you have no idea
what can I say I think 2023
no be just ma yes football yes ya bem football 20
MPB ye nkonwa school nkonwa de koye e ma constituency no esa pamoni so mfa nkonwa nko okay say no the problem was that and yes nkonwa no mu hia na school ni hia nkonwa no but they were saying say they have carpenters within the district all betumi aye nkonwa nta ade na ya san kokoto we nso afi nkran e dey brain and these are the problem you facing wo ha na yes ya so aye dey fi nkran ye dey brew and ya ye afi nkran ya krakra fi ama no ne dey brew meanwhile there are people down there in the locality omo what the omo what ahoden ni we ya skills no betumi aye e betumi dey aye adwuma no wo ho but one year privilege am me pie won kranti one year privilege am me pie wo Kumasi nti one year privilege am me pie wo ebia the urban areas nti nya that opportunity no and so say nipa no say do time akwa hwe ni so onto aba wo do ballot board ba kosi wo so onye den onto aba mfa ma wo say nipa no won take your bad decision making na ni akom ahase ho
enkunya de enkunya akwara betena so pa e wo school de carpenter for area ho betimi aye carpenter for betimi aye can imagine say yakotwa nduya no efiri ho na ya pe carpenter for na bia ba bia ana because o mama e school ho kura mpo carpenter for no pa mo so ya no mo ba o mo boys do machi a energize base no omu that sense of belonging and recognition
so no so nya kakra di
yes
when you say you in schools senior high schools crampo schools in most of the schools no were carpenters but still you found you penkonwa you be yenkonwa nya finkan ne ye akona mmom no nkonwa ne ho etotima ete a ni akase carpenter no wo school no onko bubum. I mean, how does this make sense?
Kevin, what opinion on we no?
Oh, Doctor, but my policy there, I am the pan na. Menu presentation on so I say, come chere senior adeni na be cut across. They said okay now. Edijana na na most of your delegates omo problem omo complain here polling station executives ne coordinators obia complaining. That was the main problem. Obi crisis ka bi buy ya tena so yen san kasika no na your problems are mo face here. But sani I see ka say 10 appointments to each constituency no me feel say is the best decision I will take because sani me nya be my king obia benya bia edi say edwuma ne ba yen fan konkran enye say afa na edi konkran to say na say omoko chair chop box ne trunky me call one place be na MPs fan no ombeto trunk ne chop box. Meanwhile your carpenters ne warders are omo constituencies ni mo a omo kasa emitimi yes a trunk ne chop box here sebi so appointment take across obia so betimi dia man in at least na obia enya bi edi nti I think it's perfect. Delegates woman Thomasum na Thomakumam na 31st January mo fa Monsako team so na fa your doctor Embra asema metima aka
Mati abegu wawie ye no ana wo e bia obetimi asade aka ho
yeah we my mefa policy ne ba consign enka
okay
and na me hia ebo so that's the one constituency 10
it's any asade ya and you move straight to say the next you say YDMB okay
so yeah YDMB ne the policy best first of all delegate in Ghana ni bi anti ase there be a Ghana regional CCA there be a NPP regional CCA there is only one candidate in your bet to near lady and champion yen Bediako 2020 according to that is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no two ways about that. Now secondly so we share abaya to or mind we more and you follow that electoral trends now clearly he favors Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Thirdly, every community, every home in this country, all the 276 constituencies, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia image wo hono. Today, as far as no omoko rounds ni nyina akra no, omoko kosia delegate na part of most of the delegate kra bi nu kra kwa, almost Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia t-shirt. No omode kokoti na hokokoti. It should tell you something, say his image ya tono into fear bi am no ni image ya den e wo ho. But I've said one thing. Share wo share rounds ya mpanyimfo ekoya. A lot of people are saying a whole lot. Ye be way. But doctor policies or dynamics here no. Very direct to the problems kasa as party and especially the grassroots. Yesu and ya complaints but when him ye ba beto abasisi na se ye disi nkrofo disi ka be famu a na ye refi ye hawo ni ya kwakọ jisika no ye di wia ni ye di minimum wia na fi aba bet ni achi na ye san esu say edidija. And that is why this time around I was say obi oba around be any message no enye sika na ehye ni bottom no ti asem na o kan because udi sika na udi wia okọ hono mo a nyama na o kan anya no kwakọ eden okọ akoye ebi kura ho no nyama mo kan be say how realistic is it? Doctor say one constituency 10 appointments. Doctor say you as a man pehini or about in fact the minimum 7,000 direct appointment I'll be to me as man pehini I know the at board you as man pehini biano or at least minimum 7,000 direct appointment or I'll be to me creative account mama buy good drip no so by what every constituency be where you coordinator but since where you read a regional coordinator
as deputies
where you deputies as I'm the national so that alone no they creating about close to 300-400
but when we are studying Nilanti Van der Poel Edidi na Akufo-Addo attempt say
okay
and Akufo-Addo the president who could feel without a single legacy.
Thank you.
Na Akufo-Addo continue fi na Nilanti Van der Poel president Mahama position no we nya bi hol man na Nilanti Van der Poel fa pen say oh wo hu say drip hono obi anya nko nti okopa achewa asa da drip ye de ma no oh di nyambe
ono obet na the following interview obey no be cast drip and kasa create about 4,000 employment jobs right good. So now this is what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is saying. He say 7,000 direct appointments no me what power ni say make me you be right but this time around party for constituency for me person me dey emu close to 3,000 at the mamu 3,000 no edemamu. The reason is every constituency be me person at least one kasa mo nominating nipa 10. One when that yabo opposition way, go to most of the constituencies and crofo e wo ho mo kakra wo mo nsem no. Omo no ma be ke kom sika ayden. SCC enye di aboa constituency. So obi nya de SCC ya yabo opposition o, but still obekọ bi a constituency chairman bi ho. There is somebody living in the constituency bi nsem wo bi kakra. So what you say, oh, the boa constituency. Na say nipa no. So boa na say ba ban mu ni amane hwe ya. We use say chena yesan ko opposition obe fi bi.
Dabi.
Onu so be gye sika ba nye kakra ba ko se ni dan mu. So doctor is saying say constituency bia no me ma mo 10 appointment. Sa appointment ye me na me ba constituency wa ba be den aba be yi. Na emom no mu ankasankasa na mo constituency wo no. Mu na munim nkrofo a omo didi a ebi be den ebe so mo so. Enti sa nkrofo no mo amo be nominate sa nkrofo ne de ama me say doctor wo ba yen constituency we a sa nipa 10 we de ye wo mu gidie say se wo mo appointment na wo be ka wa aban ho a kakra be ko ho bia no yen so ebi be den ebe so yen so afen so they can represent our interest nti se bibi po ye hi asem a ye betumi dia form so na wo so ay den waso ate what you say now show what doctor is trying to say is in the Ashanti region there were about 47 constituencies na wo ho right. I can bet you say go back na ko bi so am say ye ba aban mu no out of the 47 constituencies no how many appointments did they get from Ashanti region? How many appointment, direct appointment, whether CEO, whether deputy CEO, whether director general
will be also Monday the munya ya ni DC. O say the munya ya na DC. Enti DC no bre. Say bibia no
so.
Bibia no DC o. Yeah.
That is the problem Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia want to solve. Say this time around yem pese ye be burden and I say be say and when him say aside no cramp nipa ba ko so no wo sika of the finance constituency na no hijack pa away constituency no. Party no constituency level on the chere there was all kwanye ne was den oba
yeah.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is saying say Ashanti region samoto aba e de mamia 47 constituencies no me for me government am wo mu 470 direct appointment for Ashanti region. Say Eastern region mu 33 constituencies samoto aba de ma Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia me for me government out of the 7,000 appointment direct appointment me to me aye no mu wo mu 330 ayamo dia. Oko Greater Accra region, how many way near about 31 or so? Maybe 31 constituencies. 33. Okay, 33 constituencies. The same thing. Most of some about the mamia. Semeba out of me 7,000 direct, and this is direct appointment. You see, I am not confused. He said, "Nasa omo direct appointment now. On kind of makane die omo nyaduma na."
Yes, sir.
That is not how it is. Send there, okay, there are constituencies are payment the 8 years. They did not even get one appointment. They did not even get one. What you are saying, but they are there. They have to be resourced. Enti bibi an almost say ombinya bibi na so mum nyu bi obeboama. They have to wait for national and regional. Enti sa constituency no corner mu bi omo party office trawa abubefu. But this is a constituency office. Representing a political party NPP. How do we resource those people? The point is that there was a time as somebody was financing, but say any pan ye ba abemu we nya hwe nti ndo de sika kakra na hye ne bottom de hwe na busua. This time around when you are able to empower about 10 people, na so mu nyina nya kakra omo nso betumi agina so de aden e de empower constituency no hwe omo ba omo nya slots e de digani bi no obi beje ye e no no de kire omo opese oye den odema. Doctor is saying said these people you sign a memorandum of understanding with them because so we will be appointment officer or you're accountable to the appointer, which in this case is the president. And I say be a nipo so in some echo your command your man appointment into no obi will have 7 years 8 years kwa one constituency that because in your constituency in the man appointment obi onimu no and as or your lucky say be a president no oben no into another appointment was ro ombu constituency or constituency no we rolling a glass yi kura ba ne ye friend na onko program ba ne ye friend kura onko okokura so on monsanwa anase onyi sika bia mboa constituency so say nipa no party nim. Doctor is saying say because of say mo ankasa na mo nominate sa nipa no ama me mama na appointment no mo ankasa so mo be mark nipa ne performance say mo agreement amone ne call say onya bi on fa mbra se on so onya you can nominate another person and change the person. What you are saying? So that alone, it is going to solve another problem whereby people get appointment and they do not go back to their constituency until say elections beba.
we are going to be accountable to them.
You will be accountable to your own people. If you are not doing what you are supposed to do in your constituency, your own people will vote against you or make a decision on you, change you and bring another person.
But what about maybe a danger? So they say we may be trivial, but politics me away. As soon as we are we deal with no bad to you move. You know what most of the hour was you. And I said I knew who's out.
Okay. Then send us a kind or say 10. And in the whole light of it, make me feel say 10 when ye nipa to abeja okwan. Ebia obi antimi mba enye bebia no obi atimi ko. I feel say it's even better because I say policy where they abano. To say that now kasan na me pese chip in. We say most of the constituencies so ha enye strongholds and I say enye
it was say all fan
constituencies. Such constituencies no. Ushuma ye co-opposition sana ye bre microphone nya the development they need. Slots never to say they can slots never. No mo dia chicha mo microphone kwa NDC ni na benya on fan command MPP na on fan fra. What you say? Nti a very good initiative, especially say it me cut across CEO size now. O share employment rates is here or public sector. There were about 800,000 people were public sector. Now say appointee a whole 3,000 CEOs ni a more deputy CEOs ni there. Say my bano definitely or say me share the constituency for.
Yeah.
Me Jomo Kwanza. Ya no for buy o ma pam yen crofone nti me so me buy sharp
and
pam
and me di nkomo bi o baabi institutions bia ne still da na peni bi aka but omo da so pam wo mo if I Ghana gas and me di nkomo baabi a chese no mo kan we fa be buy yi no we yes ye yi no
nti o se sa na yeso ye kono nti me de no de me fo aso full time and no problem cry nti say 3,000 CEOs across the country cry na ya point your man good share employment come to the constituencies. It is very very good nti side of the bias near general embem what you say
okay
nti when I'm sure say obefan from the hierarchy of the constituency office and no sooner beboa cause women's organize a new microphone way constituency secretary nim microphone way constituency chairman nim microphone beboa be brave and to me was that the vision is very clear, is spearheaded, is focused and you say a tarnish in a bim na memo be better that say we see factory until before you man microphone a good mono or we you media na so your modern it is I don't think that it resonates well with me. What's the factory we say me see factories into no me see plant me see into me ba me from adwuma. How many people can you employ? You nipa kro ye check the whole nyuma we bieni na nkofo our pay 7,000 workers. Why we no masem na okay?
No, but that you don't put there me ebia nkofo verified there.
Yes.
But we share companies na wo ho near see pass 7,000 na e be ye din be nwanwa se me meet magedi.
Exactly.
Look. MTN almost half years in Ghana.
MTN staff general baby about 2-3,000.
Okay. ADB almost half years.
ADB just be on hundreds, 800.
Ghana Commercial Bank. Every district be every district be a Ghana Commercial Bank. Was almost half years.
Master, oh dear. I find say 7,000. Yes, work with that. That be 7,000 crown noir. Say obi
the steel factory na kan ho.
My steel factory I want to work with the 7,000.
Okay, fine.
Let me work with the 7,000.
Okay.
What's the 7,000? Young cut across the whole Ghana. Delegates are in kra na ye wo. And
some over 200,000.
Over 260,000 delegates.
See executive say na ye wo. Who see we be from adwuma. Bra, obi see ma 3,000 appointments. There are 3,000 appointments no. Obia fa more workers 1,000 crap, but you're saying
No,
but 30,000.
Chairman.
And you are telling me that you are 7,000 workers. 7,000 crap.
But Chairman, you see, I hear back when I was a delegate 40 years here when people talk about job, and they say, look.
Almost thought about me and Castle Mobiajuma.
No, but you see,
Yeah, almost will be a pejumai.
I have always said one thing. They say you quack or pray or be a party name. Our vision or your forward thinker or what strategies and plans in creating job opportunities for the ordinary Ghanaian. You cannot counter Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Share mobile money into probability. Dr. Bayeno. Now workers are now omuye mobile money and kwano agent omuye mobile money was around 150.
Almost direct jobs.
So then let me ask you, say direct jobs na year can. Oko constituency, a delegate for cry no one must say about 260,000 beboa. Are you assuring them say oba be see a factory e wa hanom a Oko constituency were about 2,000 3,000 people na wo ho no. Omo nyina can walk in. Omo nyina person ko ye adwuma wo e wo factory. Is that what you are saying? Engineer no ko training na wie na ono na bi ope different administrative opportunity no. Say nipa no onko ye adwuma wo factory ho no ma oye out ana. You see, we have gotten to me. I've always said one thing, and I know said there will be a day I be this and come on say, yeah, do baby, we need leaders who can create enabling environment for us. As I panel with or without me Ghanaian and me citizen and me youth to make me so creating me my own job opportunity.
But I thought say, yeah, you see a do baby. Abaya kwabu entry no said directly rolumpo na
private sector.
I'm a private sector then thrive.
That is what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is talking about. Share dia yera honorable Ken nyina anya say me ba be ye. That is what we have suffered in this country. Share osade for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Before ye nifi ye two nifi ade so no we see we create about 300 factories for mine we meboa. Okay, okwa check data. Under the diversity implementation policy now, check data now. Jobs are not created at that time, 240,000. So 300 factories, but now employment created 240,000. Now population as at that time was around 11 million. Share Embra Rollins, year diversity implementation policy or just about 285, no. Mulusu around 150,000. Why? Because Abaya Sasa. And that mean no kasa way. Now do danko Akufo-Addo under the one district one factory. Factories so to me CC here under that project no around 160. It create about 170,000 jobs. Mahama buy or say policy no and yene there into abolish 1D 1F.
Obianka ho asem.
You see, a time will come. Once I think yes after politics no I think ye din komo no ye be run next year. And ye ba critically ye better na ban yes you ni asesenia compared to what we did. Share or abolish is our policy no. All the last time I think 2 months ago, Chamber of Comments at the letter about Bontin, I catch the president say, look, 1D 1F no, a policy and a boom, especially more running private businesses no. Into on fund and coho. What can PR semi report no? 2025.
Okay.
Go and read. Question and some more about 1D 1F. But I buy way buying just because of say yes buying into no or say policy no and yene de abolish it. People working under that no what happened to them today? All those companies no sabana withdraw the support any waivers no the more money then they will go back to square one. So almost nonka because of the waiver no more be a new pattern and no more better so about then abefa 5 because of them abaya sasa. And no public private partnership, and one of the reasons why Nanado 1D1 a public private partnership was because of experience with the diversity implementation policy, where all the state owned agencies Rollins enya kwan etonton nyina because na ya ban dia. Today the same NDC crown e catch the Ghana nyin say wuhia adwuma NDC MPP for na egu adwuma wo man we mu. But they sold all these state owned agencies. Go and the gasem. Ye president one ye kun. Na ka your man dia o. Ye share say wo me ton ye. You get it? Ye ka say give go ye pedama me. We will come and discuss that proper. I will bring the document and we will discuss. You see, but I'm saying is we should learn from all those precedents. Baby Ghana yeduno. We need the government, we need the personnel, all champions say, let the private sector people take the center stage of leading Ghana's economy. All the leading economies what we are seeing a private centered.
Beba, Calvin, before we talk about presidential candidate, a major hurdle to cross. A war internal premise na Airbus. And they Miami Krum MP. Kokwasa Tibwati go gun when masi. Were very very primitive in his thinking. Yeah, Walker say virtually say so papa and now one can't find the fathers and what they say the way of won't deserve class
founding fathers of the party.
And now one super won't come what they are. Nature said they say one can't find the fathers a dear, but the cast the commoner would one year dear. Nature say a yadia in his mu eba. Dr. Mahmoud Bamia war politically, I say, and quite this over disadvantages. Say, first of all, or more air castle when you're Muslim. It was no cahu and the Antwerp was every upper face northeast. When you're a canny, you're also a cahu, and they would say MP food to be your man, Cassans in Fono. Now, I was saying, also your brand here, minimum 1 more one business. We shall be necessary fellow Azure and I say free Asana. You don't even care what the Asana and so what? You know, how do you convince other people almost no Sabamunye account for to come into the party? Because I don't want the board about me. I say, when you can, and now when you
well, personally, me feel say number one for me meaning. Me who MPP muna me who politics mu kakara kan menim say MPP nya party bia ye nipa ma ana say nya party bia ye sanipa mu so far as I am concerned because your founding fathers are maybe enim you Dumbo wo ho Edward Akufo-Addo ne JB Dankamu they are all from different walks of life omunya free different tribes and see a Fabino say a branteno and honorable no Cassia. Mimi who say attack a personal attack on Dr. Baumia.
Yes, and
me sure dear, but 63 MPs now my declare support my Dr. Baumia. Me who say anything home dear.
David, one support
on support you be
2023 no. Na no support to alache Martin. Na a new worker. Eti na wo hu si de wo si me kroma mpi no me fi bogu asate atem saw eti mma me kwa ne no ka cha me say what information for me kroma say ahokeka no wo fom kakra eti wo ye no wo pe ba bi di akose wo say na akomea ene antona bai fa kabu omusi free bus no mu no omuhu no manchia no na ya bana nta bus no e wa ko fa video ba ya wo na otimo no mu di nkom
we dey me fa one or say year 2023-2024 no
yeah
obo contested no
yes
now there are people on no face say there are people omo support obo and omo de sika pushi obo man ne be contested no
it ne yaw no
and
say like about me they say what treat you because one no say for na contested no so gidi se wo so chen ono busa na asante achebu south hall mu no fa no no free.
Okay.
Ito de bia akofo kansem a asante achebu south no kro so pa eni dwaso ho ne capital ho no obo free.
Okay.
Ba wo free dwaso yes wo free dampo and say eti kwa in terms of numbers they can also for minority but you won it's a wo call fourth term
obeko de the next one
obeko de wa hwe kwa ba contest say me hola ma me free want me no obo na me ka kire no obo uma wo mu aye dududu obo ese okotu papa yi abrante wunyini wo se be ja anwom to obo no wo kwa sante de won deserve biem security me permanent free parliament kwa say because increasing adwene wo team dudu primitive thinking
because a personal attack
yes
to say that may come because any party is sanipem sebi o nkrofobia tribal politics but MPP nya party a tribal politics because a party a tribal politics accept I before in for like you accept you be a ushema sebi you me cancy boneso your minority leader cry or ya bini yen ka say your party no Asante for party and I say stream for party and I say before but everybody is welcome.
Yes.
So I don't see where that statement of or you're stranger no free by all of a sudden in the middle of this.
I feel Baba.
Oh yeah.
Me Baba me call him. Kafra.
We share your party and I say we share political parties say we Ghana hanuma. MPP pay and etumi aye ejina enya jinasie ede obi oye Muslim ede aye vice asanso de obi oye Muslim ababe contest
as flag bearer true
ebinsi wa Ghana hana apart from MPP it is a metis among for ka say MPP eye yimu omu pe Muslims asem omu pe northerners asem na it sounds so stupid to me because me want to say obi anadwin wo fom no na eka sansa mo
nyanu eni
me Muslim akwa nyame adumti otime kire no tumi 41% say be call election na onya 41% nye easy Dr. Mahmoud ba me ade oya ade pa enti omo amu ka se ene oye Muslim enti ye ntuma no oye se ye ntuma ye na ye te ha kroma bi ye be hwe de besi I was say ye nya ye de ye tanechi na ne vision o ma Ghana no ye de manu saba sebi yo ya no fu yo mo ko ye ets o ma saba o mo mpu no ana ya nkan adwem anda ho andwen say o mbe saba power biem no o ma saba na enye Dr. Baumia no say o be call 50 times kra ye tanechi
mate
enti o ma other aspirants na no ye personal attacks na oye say no o say bra bibio o say mo ko racer the odi enim kan no enu no be attack no obi person tu no free ho na obe hye ho na so race there na nka wo ko uba na wa market ho kama na wa ka de obeka mo nam na mo kuta gallon na we ebro anwa enti yemfa yesi no so enu de say enu de nya asem
makaya yi de Dr. Free Akoto de no body o kai no
me dream be bra mentas
yes
ade ayetri disrespect
of course baby
very good especially we akwala na okotu penny na woni penny kasa okọ northern part of Ghana no wo hwe pennyfo na okohye omo obi anim sesan
se bia wonim
okọ
what's our dent
okọ emi hu se o hye atade bi o so ton wo US aye ton $3,000
oh okay
and obai no on ni o hye no o se we mi ton $3,000 we kra metimi aba bebie factory no e wa hanu say na na okọ so penny a obetimi awo na awo no akoso na tade mo fugu na ohye no I say at the time bi oh yeah I have the video on my phone
yeah mama hwe
mema wa hwe akoso mo ti say eye hey
bra me dem asamba kono say de bia unkomo ana say campaign message aye sika
ko pesika ne bi
sika no
mama nya mad beta me bi pesika ne bi wa ha
sika na
sika
enti say wo be ye den
ko pesika ne bi
den pa na
there be self actualization e wo
there be sika
mama
dollars say ni say
original amega
na obey
original amega for semi culture some original amega heba bitters na ewo holomo ebe increase energy ne stamina no and the best has overall well-being be ma ho ayede pa na yesi we be man no ay mega crowd so a no betimi age abo akama na wo betimi asan support ma odidi a digestive system no betimi aye adwuma wo mo supplement upper road opposite Benab filling station obeta from 0548 782 585 and 0544641851 mekan for original and mega herbal bitters ba obi so anom enye ensa wo benom dia bebro ekitu abi eyaduru na wo na cement vital herbal mixture so wo se bia osisi ye wo ya esi yare bia be fe ne sciatica esi ano din papa very very excruciating pain and tibacho wow sciatica na how no kwaji cement vital herbal mixture na wo ho intimi ento and so say loss of appetite 0244 718-557 0244-718-557 na tabia takum de emema nyina Supreme Court judge na mse waba no wo do asema ko high court wo difo die afedie wonya favorable Supreme Court judge wo honomo tabia takum obua poki crowd wo don't say yes all represent member pa gallantly into mekanfo at the amount na obi send the message bi wo say the idea or say very laughable say umuka say but about me elusu main elections into deserve second chance now one of the spokespersons and na or say 1 year O level na kwalo trot or year arrested by 4 times and said unya kwako university second chance we are say ka was why year arrested as about 4 times and said unya kwa upper 6 grade
okay
yeah into abeku yeah actually sorry so
okay chairman mame enka Samoa Boatin Asante Boatin na asemi bi na nokrenye mete ni interview no yeah no me se fam ye you see this is a political party here and there yeah pressure youth eba no party no ye bema party no ehun abenyam ama omo nso tumi de omo dom ho aba bedom na ye wo grounds yes adwumai na impehinifu omo anya akwanya akwa na parliament edu party nanim na se nsem se nyefi omo nwum eba na obisa won se me a me ba enra me ba encheye no bigina bia wo party nimu ende
anything
but you see adia me shame in crime me person me ma honorable Samoa Boatin Asante Boatin Kweku Asante Boatin enye ne constituency na nkola ne konya nkola 15 ne konya accident no
hwa
okay onokra wankwa nkohwe nkola no me ma fire no TikTok pen but you see this political party NPP no yante in 1992 if in 1947 UGCC people sacrificed to get this party here sankrofo no krampo mukro manya ehun adodode endi JB dan kwakoda prison owo prison he sacrificed to get this party here once sim osajo for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah UGCC for kofa no wa manoni o omo no mo bo no ho kaye den e kofa ne baaye
yeah
but on no krampo be so original ye ehun se obetumi ate ne ho party ete party e de beji independence any ye be pem so. This is the only political party a nationalized political party in this country. But when him sankrofo we say na ma ho kwan ama ende NDC for to make say NPP account for party because I work as asem we dia na say see edun ketia begina no so ka say NPP account for party we sure say obi betumi contest no
ultimi because internal people classes account for party dia
say wo wudi domanim o constituency no me sure say zongo wo ho say ya ba beto aba you go to those people say omonto abanye den emawo nande omudie mu eba na o ka kire nyi say be oye donkoni ana say ye kofa anyi say slave eni ye de ne ba lebra nti ye de na ye adwuma wie nti na wo say ye yento ne ntwene na party no egugura inti ne ewurafo ne ba beje nti yento nipa ne ntwene a na mebisa o Gordon studio ha ye we e obi adwene a odaso ho daye e no ka se me pese me bie studio me pese me bie radio station but ende se nipa na so daye no ono na te ha no
dabi
the owo production room honom no nipa na so sa dan no no te ho
na chema won't be kura mpo no chese ye kasa na bi opeso kan asem ni bia bra sa na amane kwan yeah one hand but what bre pa sa na amane kwa say chema okay be mo chema 5 minutes o ka say 10 years 5 le be ba na 5 you be na akate no
okay Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia North Bank of Ghana as a deputy governor na do danko akofo ado hu ne ho mfa so okoye kofa no se brabe boa me 2008 na ye clear because I mean ye try 8 years awie
yeah
papa ni jitu mu se meboa mo ene be ma matumi akwa pretumi nkwande na medi wachi oja anya dwuma to ho you say na nkrofo kasa say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia before beba politics now on board brother me say ye politics net on chain ni ye ka say obia amobobo ni di nyemfo mu nyina onye fa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia nyina ho ni emisa nia wabo bra ebe ye dey patanya nyumpo ne ye ka papa we janya dwuma de to ho 2008 eba be di party anim e ya mo so ye NDC ni 2008 na ye class NDC for benya chance of winning se nko ye NDC ni di ankodwan ni yomo
aye
because NDC ba ben mu no enye nko me promote na ba be ye governor of the Bank of Ghana
straight
but sacrifice ye be ye aduma de ma NPP ma ye kolusu election ye lusu ye no osanya aduma African Development Bank e fa ne de ko Zimbabwe okotina ho ye nyaduma na do danko akufo ado enya no de no biem so be lead NPP osan kofre no osan ja nyaduma in fact African Development Bank president etu no for say aduma wo ya man wo Zimbabwe de nkanya abotre na we die bi amobekokram na so yo dabi party NPP aton sa frɛ me e wo se me so me kotua me ko bo me ho moden na me boa ma party ni so tumi ye den e be boa man because that is the only political party that can save Ghana nto jitu mu san ja na adwuma to ho e be di na na do danko akufu ado achi ye ko ye den yesi ye ya nwini na wo se ye court edu court no omo ando omo ka so omo na party ni wowura no omo ankai se wo na wowura de nya se efie bia no efie ho krata wo efie wura ho enti nkedu adaka mu no na ye pe obi abekenkan krata kire krata mu nka wo so mo kotena adaka mu
na ka wa obedi pa no wo na se beka se mabusu na ma alimunya mrabusu no
pani de nka ye ka se ye mbekira se mu a wo de ofa ho ben
anyway
ba ye de pani ne betena adaka mu 18,000 pin sheets or digesting nyina for 8 solid months ye toto na no ninsem wo kan ye analysis or ye information so digu abontin so ye hu no o ma Ghana fo nyina hu fa yabato ayato o man we mu no eno nya ma electoral commission gina so ye reforms said this time around elections are won at the polling station enti so ye to abawie bia na ye fa a copy of the pin sheet and from both the polling station so that by the time you be call constituency electoral way no your friend then collation room no
collation center
the dey be call on say corner Antalya we can refer back to the polling station. Do you know why until as at 2 a.m. in 2016 NPP for who see a winning election dada it was because of this reform because at time you to abani we are you have your copy until right now send it straight to na ye tally it was because of this particular person the ayese ndo ye donkoni no ono kotina adaka mu eyiyi nsamo ano edi ni nyansa ni nimdie egu abonten e ma electoral commission gina so ye reform enye gina so the winning election anso ho
30 seconds
ati 2016 no emra na ye hwe unim the reason why na nkrofo wogidie se nanado ntumi wini because NDC 2008 na attacks no was on nanado 2012 the attacks was on nanado in 2015 Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ka kire nana se nana se 2016 ye ko ni ye ka se san ko face attacks na wan hwe ye belusu
ma me fa me ready ankoji
enti ma me face yo mo na wo no fa titon policies no eno be face obefi ase with the lectures autonomato aban face Bawumia na nado na machi ton free SHS ine wuni ya babetena aban mu Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia baye no wendi ye nhwambo as a vice president wa somo man Ghana man de Ghana nya ho fasodie wa ye ne wo so ye bia wa resource party no and now you feel abemu 3 million or time the my party for some money fancy party was here honum and they do time on so ba be press yen konkoto me so aba woni me nyina nim say he's the only person who bet me agi to media man in 2028 woni me nyina nim say he's the only candidate so ye to me aton no woni nyina nim say ye gidi nyina kura fi wa nim de ni nyansa ni adwene ne how ye hyehyɛ on mind de Dr. Mahmoud ba me apani nipo bet me aboa yen but enyibirinti otanti yes and do ye donkoni me can there is a trend that across with social media yeah outsiders but we stand with Dr. Mahmoud Baumia
kwekwa beku na Martin nka no Kevin a minute na ye fa sorry so
me ti say enyumere de ya kan sem bebre menwa ya kasa me nso makasa asem ni na ne say we say man kabum de by a party ni the see the Ekika Kono, we are less than 2 months away from the flag bearership election. Yen fa dream to a dream, yen dream, yen farm in Penifon Casa. Na policy, sir, Dr. Baumia to a quemono. Yen dream who ye as delegates. I echo to a ba. Say a beb wire, way, me burrow, yanum for us, and show us its name, na fa to a ba. Ain't no. As a delegate, I was soon party for almost 21 years. Every month, some 10 years near Chino. Soon for Sobiana, Obi ba, so beb wow. Ama, unsuwe did the kakra. Dream who ye, not a more bimbe dadao, and I'm in a messy factory. And me do Cosiano, me call your manager, me call him a bed for high, see you a intro.
All right.
Enti mesremwa we dem ma mesremwa
me masada
anyway me chia MPP Patriots executives na me executives me chia mo chia bibiara me chia me staff members Nadma pharmacy me chia mo baby am obia na me bompa say 31st January bibia be koso boko MPP Patriots here ekwa medan no as some president na nyame adoma 7 December ebe ye pese ya plan bibia ya friend reflection walk na afia ye to aba 7 December enti no ye reflection walk
mate
enti ba cho ye to nsa frem emrepa ni dwa ye
bibia be 2 weeks to time
bibia be to dwa
correct
chema we dey mami me ndawase na me tia yera Chris Lloyd say ononso oba incoming youth organizer me sure so wo pepa ni so betumi adi party no mebu nanim enti no eduwa ye be kai no afei so me fanchi ankese ma me boss amene ne bae Moses Abo ononso oba for national organizer eduwa ye be ye adwuma ne dia man ye ba betran he di ne ho adanse me fa chia enso mfama mi amiku ena Madam ya menene ba ye so mami so mi sen enchia no enti de ye kan nyina ne se delegate for am wa ase ho mi nchia etwa to am de ma mo ne se sa kwanya ne ba na mo kwakoto aba na mo nkai se the MPP cannot afford to lose 2020
that one child madam me dey say open
me ya kesi emu ohun emu
mama opportunity me show sa
emu odru mami ame mami oye madam me mami irresponsible ono and the secretary Emma Bold Patriots Alliance enemy chairman Nana Kofi entwibu esi akone Patriots Bold Patriots mpanyimfo nyina
okay mate me no ka say die national science mass quiz no semi-finals no aka last round na between Opokuare at Motor School and then St. Peter's of course who goes school I saw marry of course Opokuare na at Motor and St. Peter's is here trust us Opokuare we are far ahead all the boy not possible round 4 you round 4 yeah was for you 42 at Motor 27 and I say Peters I was 7 and take a last round we there foregone conclusion oh yeah fire this year they say JKG in advance you be this war you quite any nipa ba ko wa 3 times boy na bin do fe kof ai wa bin too much wa bin seja ya nti a obi ti baabi e na free SHS e man kra na bon a na me say one wa bon so you are unable to appreciate say dem say ai wo so all right eti ya wie eti Calvin by e na abekos e be ka me ho nyame adoma achina ye be san ahia adongo ene je na odin besi apaso ai bibia eye kama ene akalanji echi so ye do ase of course Kristo Kweku general manager eso ye da wase nyame adoma achina pa Kwaku Deru ebehia ye anopa echanopa mommo mpa e matema wuntumi echanopa ye kokko tumi no court 1 and court 4 enipa na woni ni mienu nyina ya charge wo mo no virus eyi no ene aban no ene aban ti na hyede madi nkomo ama bibia ntasa ba se he say no wonye accuse bi rather no the state is going to use him as a prosecution witness against him. I want to me but Jakopon anything if I'm going to Asare-Bediako, I'm not much now. You be sure. Good night.